Hi, this is Mike, and I thought I'd make a video of this, seeing as though the superimposed image doesn't actually line up well on different monitors after some testing, which is a bit of a shame. But I just want to show you how amazingly accurate this representation is, not only because I understand the wave that's coming, but also because of the clues that you can see at the small degree that almost highlight a very similar pattern. Right, so that move at the highs there, that's actually the .com move, which is very similar. You have that initial move down, which looks like that same move down, and then you have the wave A, which is basically identical to that first move and that first bounce, right? And then you have the first five waves down, which in this case, it depends where you label the first five waves. It could have been lower. It depends on the correction at the small degree, right? So at the moment, we can see that this sideways price action kind of indicates that this is not a five wave move, but instead it's part of a larger pattern unfolding. Okay, so it's definitely a little bit weaker than the .com bust, but it still has the same properties, which means it's a type 2 expanded zigzag. So after every bubble, you get the first wave A. And sometimes it could be so deep and strong, the first initial move, that it causes this type of pattern to unfold, which is a zigzag stretched out, basically, right? So this here basically indicates that we're going to correct lower, and this is how I see it. If I had to give you a picture drawing, this is exactly what I'd show you, right? Because after that, we're going to see a bounce, but I don't know how high it's going to be, right? It could be something like this, like the NASDAQ, or it could go higher. But from what I understand, the this move is so sharp down that it makes people feel like it's going to go lower. So the B wave is weak rather than strong, and it creates the kind of head and shoulders pattern that I wanted to illustrate by showing you this type of move. Right, this is this market symmetry idea that I've had all along, and I just thought I wanted to illustrate it to you in a way that made sense, not just something that I'm imagining in my mind, but something that the waves have always shown me since I started creating AriasWave in 2015, right? So aside from that, that's all very good and well and proper, but we need to see some more confirmation moves, which to me now is quite simply means that we're going to see the same length as wave A as a minimum expectation from the end of wave B, right? So at this point in time, it's looking like we could head down to about 10,000. That's still on the cards, right? Even more so now, okay? Because my latest analysis has really brought me into this understanding that this is the type of thing to expect, right? So just going to small degree here, I'm just going to talk about the latest moves, and I just want to indicate that I've changed my count slightly due to overnight price action. I do believe that mini wave 2 ended a bit higher. I did say something about this area, but then we saw this continuation, which I think was a CDE pattern with a weak wave C, a small zigzag in between, and then an E to finish off the move. Since then, we saw a five wave move, which looks kind of weak, but still a five wave move, followed by what I think could be an A, B, and a small CDE at the lows here. So if price continues to head lower from this point, then we could be looking at a slow grind down to the lows, followed by a smackdown. So it's interesting also, I've been watching a bit of Gareth Soloway's analysis, and he talks about the channel at the highs that you can use, which I found pretty interesting because it actually hit it quite perfectly. If you draw the channel like so up to the highs, you basically dropped right into that area, right? So now it's a matter of, will it break that channel? And I believe it will. So for now, the price has been correcting near the channel, and I believe it will definitely come back to retest the bottom of that channel. And I think that it'll basically smash through it. It could definitely grind lower to that point before then dropping the way it did up here, except much harder this time, because if we're in a third of a third wave, then it's definitely going to start to really show some weakness as it progresses lower in this C wave of a B wave. This is what I believe we're in, right? So I put the label up here. It's not a wave two. That idea out the window now. So interesting the way this is unfolded. I do believe this move down here was a complete zigzag in the end. I think what happened with this move is that it's subdivided internally into the wave. Basically, the wave B within the zigzag expanded within, and that's what caused this move to appear the way that it did, with I think very small A and C waves, and all the price action in between having been the parts that are the longest. Potentially wave A here, A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C, D, E, and then that last little leg down there. This is why I'm sticking just to the Bitcoin chart, because I find it much more interesting to just keep my eye on this chart, because I think it gives you the most clues out of all the markets. Everything else follows Bitcoin. So I think it's wise to just continue to use that as an example there. So right now, if I was to say, where are we in this whole move? If you want to have it to sort of to scale, it's actually hard because wave B ends lower on the Bitcoin chart, and not all waves are the same. They do contain the same components, but they aren't the same shape, right? We could see a large B, we could also see a large D down, okay? But the bear market rally moves in between, they're limited. So that's basically what I see there happening. So hopefully that's helped you understand the basically the crypto depression idea that I've been coming up with lately. I just wanted to illustrate that in a visual kind of way so you can see what I'm talking about, rather than me just saying, oh, it's a crypto depression, when you have no context. Here, this is the context. It's a wave A expanded type 2 zigzag. If you don't know the waves, you don't know what you're talking about. So there's no point trolling me. It's pointless, really, especially after we start seeing this thing tank, and we've started to see it tank in recent days. But I think it's only just getting started in this bear market. And you know that when things pick up to the downside, they go pretty quick. So let's keep an eye out for that, and I'll catch you on the next one.